Welcome to Small Insight, Big Impact, the podcast where we explore ideas, strategies to improve our personal and professional life to make an impact. I am your host, Dr. David Tsetse. Today we'll be looking into a topic that's often misunderstood and frankly undervalued: safety culture in the workplace. Yes, safety culture in the workplace. When you hear of safety in the workplace, you might be thinking of hard hats or safety signs. Yes, while all those are certainly part of the bigger picture, the concept of a safety culture is much more bigger and more profound. It's about shifting mindset and not just only following rules. It's about building systems where every single person, from the president to the new hire, feels a personal sense of ownership over safety or for their own safety. So why should you care about safety? Because strong safety culture is a business imperative which reduces accidents, lowers cost, boosts morale, and increases productivity or results in most cases. It is known that companies with robust safety culture are more resilient, more respected, and are considered better places to work. So how do you get there, or how do your organization or company get there? How do you move beyond the checklist-based approach to a more ingrained culture of safety? Over the few minutes, I'll be going into the different pillars of building a safety culture. Let's begin. The foundation of any strong safety culture is, without question, leadership commitment. This is because safety cannot be lip service. It must be demonstrated through consistent, visible action and leadership. When leadership truly values safety, that commitment filters through the entire organization or company. Think about it this way. Employees watch that their managers or executives do, not just what they say. If a top executive walks past a safety hazard without acknowledging it, for example, they've just undermined every safety aspect or poster in the wall or in the workplace. At the same time, if that safety executive stops to address a concern, asks about safety during a routine walkthrough, for example, it sends a signal that says that we mean business and your well-being is our top priority and safety is our top priority, more or less. So here is how safety culture looks like in practice. We all have to, especially senior management, walk the talk. We need to get ourselves well dressed if it requires us putting on safety wears. We need to demonstrate our own compliance with every safety rule in the workplace. It is also important to allocate resources to all safety issues in the workplace. When safety concerns come up, we shouldn't ignore them due to budget constraints, but rather dedicate the necessary funds to provide proper equipment, training, and facilities that will make sure that the workplace is safe for everybody. We need to have a system of monitoring performance, having a safety metrics that speaks to all the aspects of safety in the workplace. Just as we discussed revenue and growth, we should be discussing safety issues in the workplace and elevate safety concerns to the boardroom, and matter of fact, include it as one of the strategic objectives of the organization or company. Another aspect is to empower all staff and get them to have the necessary authority and power to lead or participate in safety-related issues. So that when it feels like they are unsafe to do a particular activity, they need to be able to speak up. And steps have to be taken to appraise that job to make sure that it is safe for other employees to undertake. The voice of the employee is very important, and their voice should be given the necessary attention, trust, and respect. We need to also talk about effective communication in the workplace. That means we need to make sure that we have two-way communication, and our communications are transparent and open with regards to safety issues in the workplace. In many organizations, this particular aspect of safety culture, it's still work in progress. We shouldn't be reactive to issues, but rather take a proactive approach and make sure that our actions and our communications are consistent and constant. So here is how to build a better safety communication system in the workplace, in your organization. You need to take steps to encourage employees who do well in safety-related issues and celebrate them. Make sure they get to see they are recognized for their efforts, and instead of brushing them off, use them as invaluable learning opportunities. And make sure you also document all those data for learning purposes, and also to improve processes and systems within the workplace that will make it safe for everybody. Have an open reporting system or channel in the workplace, so that it's easy and accessible for employees to report concerns, whether formally or in an anonymous way. And this will encourage the culture of speak up among the employees. The other aspect is to have regular sessions that will give you the opportunity to talk to safety issues in the workplace. And this has to be formalized and institutionalized, so that you have regular meetings or regular sessions, and where possible, the necessary toolbox that you have that promotes safety are also displayed and demonstrated to staff in case of any issue, so that they are able to use it and they know where it is, it's accessible, and they know how to deal with the contents and everything of that. So it's important to make sure that not only your information is clear and accessible, but all the necessary tools that are required to make the workplace safe are accessible and are also translated or simplified in a way that employees can actually use them for their day-to-day activities. Beyond leadership and communication, we also have to take steps to involve employees in the development of safety culture in the organization, because safety culture, it's everybody's business. It's not only the business of the employee or senior management. Excluding people, especially the employees who are at the forefront of production or program, will mean that you are losing out on very important opportunities that will help you improve your safety culture. You need to instill a sense of ownership in the employees so that they feel they are in this together and they are part of the whole process. You need to create safety committees and empower them, not just being a rubber stamp committee within the workplace, but they have the powers and then they have the responsibility to do inspections or conduct inspections, do reviews, and where possible also suggest recommendations to improve safety concerns in the workplace. The other aspect that you need to also look at and strengthen to make sure your safety culture is in shape is your job safety analysis. You need to take steps to break down every aspect task of the job and analyze, identify potential hazards at each step of the job. And where you find them, make sure you are able to educate staff or provide the necessary tools that will help the staff member or the employee avoid those hazards. It's important to also have a system of peer-to-peer review where you encourage employees to coach each other or be each other's keeper in the aspects of safety in the workplace, so that they are able to share safety issues, observe safety behaviors. This approach will shift the culture in the workplace from a compliance one to a more mutual care and accountability culture. You need to also develop a system of recognition and a reward for employees. Take steps to demonstrate excellent safety awareness and proactive behavior in the workplace. Celebrate speak-up culture and those who report concerns, and consistently go above and beyond to make the workplace a safe place to work. Positive behavior or positive motivation is also very critical in this whole journey. It is important to also have a training or a continuous improvement system in the workplace that will help build skills and address gaps in the way employees address safety issues in the workplace. These trainings can either be, depending upon the situation in your organization, they can either be tailored, interactive, or very focused on particular issues that are of concern to the organization and the safety or the hazards that are being addressed in the work environment. The other thing is also linked to this, you can also do refresher courses, for example, if that is something, if there's an introduction of a new safety protocol, guidelines, to sort of bring the others up to speed with the current developments and current procedures and standards within the sector, and then the organization as a whole. Critical to that is also incident investigation that has to be properly not only done but documented in a way that the data or the findings can be used to improve processes and systems with a view to getting the workplace safe. Now we are in an age of AI and technology and innovation. You need to also explore what technologies are available that you can leverage, harness to improve safety in the workplace. There are lots of them in the market space and others. So take advantage of that and make sure you have what fits your need and your organizational culture, and then your budget and your people's interest. Finally, I'd like to touch on psychological safety in the workplace. In most cases, employees are afraid to speak up because they don't feel safe. They feel they might be targeted, or there will be a lot of implications, punishments for them raising up issues. But that should not be the case. You need to create a space where everybody is free to speak up, speak their mind, ask questions, and then if they make mistakes, people are open to admit without fear of punishment. This is very important. And if you do that, it sort of it creates trust among the employees and help you build a trustworthy team who are ready to take on concerns and issues, whether good or bad, in the interest of the other organization and in the interest of everybody, knowing very well that if things don't go well, they will still not be blamed, but it's good for them to speak up and point out issues. You need to also embrace mistakes and learning opportunities within your organization and company. You have to make them know it's okay to fail, it's okay to make mistakes. And with that will be a window of opportunities for innovation that employees will come up with. And don't have a system of finding up a scapegoat in the organization for issues that relates to safety. It's important for you to value all voices. Take steps to understand, listen, analyze, understand what is in this voice that you have to take that relates to safety. It might be a short-term suggestion, it might be a long-term one. Don't overlook it. Building a safety culture, it's a continuous process, I must say. And it involves a lot of patience, persistence, genuine commitment, and to the well-being of everybody in the team and in the workplace. So as you plan to elevate your workplace by introducing a safety culture, beware of the challenges that lie ahead. But it is important, and at the end of the day, it will pay for its results. But you have to make sure that you lead with intention, with the support of everybody, having a speak-up culture, and also open communication among different levels within the organization. And as I said earlier, empower your staff, get them involved, and train them continuously so that they stay up to date with what they have to do and how they have to approach workplace safety. And again, psychological safety, I cannot stress that more, it's very important. The culture of free and safe to speak up without fear, it's very important in driving a safety culture in the workplace. Thank you for being part of Small Inside Big Impact. I am Dr. Tsetse. Until next time, stay safe and be proactive.